Hi crafters, Karen here from Karen's Crafting Company, and in today's video it's all about Christmas card making. So I'm going to be doing a Christmas card series for the month of November where I will be using things that I have in my stash: paper, die cuts, stamps, embossing folders, all that good stuff that I have in my stash that I need to use up. So it's basically the no spend November. And I have here in front of you some papers and some paper pads that I have had in my stash for some time now. So I definitely want to go through these papers and start using them up. Now I will give you a heads up that I am a paper hoarder, so you will see lots of different papers here in my stash today. So as you can see, I have some pretty gingham here, and I actually started making a couple of projects using this paper that you see here in the front. And I will share that with you in another video. And again, when I go through these papers, it'll be great if you let me know what is your favorite and what you'd like to see me use. So here is some more pretty red and green gingham that I have. And I just can't buy one piece. I always have to have more than one piece. So I used those as well. There's some pretty snowflake paper, and I have these pine cones. I think I have like 4 sheets of those. And then I also have this pretty poinsettia paper. I'm 4 of those as well. Again, can't just buy one sheet, just in case I make a mistake or something. You just never know. And it's just so pretty. How can you just buy one? And then these papers here are from an old paper pad that I've had for years. And I honestly don't remember what the paper pad is called, but these are some of the stragglers that I had left. And I thought, maybe it's time to, get these moving and worked on. So they are double-sided. So you see that one side is that poinsettia and the other is a deer. And then again, more double-sided where one side is the poinsettias and then I have the deer on the other side. And here I have a 6x6 paper pad called Christmas Watercolors by Scrapbook Customs, and I got this at scrapbook.com. Now I do have cards completed using this set, and I will show that in another video, so stay tuned for that. And I used up every single sheet in that pad. And then here I have the Honeybee Gingham Galore Holiday paper pad. So it's all gingham and it is double-sided. And I also had made cards using this pad as well. Not all of the papers. I picked a few colors, and I also used some old Christmas tags that I found in my stash to use, and I will share that in a video as well. Now I've had this 6x12 Cricut paper pad for years, and it has a variety of Christmas colors, Christmas patterns, and some are non-traditional, some are your traditional colors. And I did use some of this last year, and again I will hope to use some more of these sheets this year. In fact, that blue paper that you see right there, I did use that, and I made something out of that, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Just want to show you some of these papers and what they look like. So this blue paper here is what I used to make this die. Actually, it's a die that I have in my stash, and I cut that out. And I used this last year, and I made several cards using this die. And I got this at Hobby Lobby years ago, and I haven't seen it recently, so my guess is that it's no longer available. And it looks like it's pretty intricate, and it would take forever to weed. But believe it or not, when I use my metal shim to run this through my Sizzix, all the pieces literally fall out, and I have minimal weeding to do when I create this. And so I will, definitely be using this again. And I just liked that pretty blue paper, and I thought it just looked really cute with that die set. Now here's the start of my paper pads. Now this Cozy Noel from DCWV, I actually used this in my my October rewind. And if you missed that video, I will have that linked in the description box. That cut apart paper that you saw, I did use one full sheet of that already. And again, everything's double-sided, so you've got some Christmas trees, you've got a pretty village, you have some presents and Christmas trees and gingerbread candy canes, on that other piece, some pretty birds and some florals. And hard to see on the camera, but some of those are foiled, which just gives it that added touch. You got some Santa Claus, more I think those, I can't really tell what those are. Some more floral patterns and some ivy, birds, definitely some written pattern paper, all Christmas themed, some buffalo check, and then more cut aparts, for the, if you want to 12 days of Christmas, or if you want to do an advent calendar. So here you can see some of that foil, really, really pretty gold, some more mistletoe. I love this sheet here with the sentiments because I can bring in my circle nesting dies, and I can cut those out in a circle shape, and there's my sentiment. Some pretty mason jars with some images inside. I like the red in that background. Some border strips that you could use. You can use them on slimline or mini slimlines. There's more of those sentiment pieces that I could use again with those circle nesting dies. Some pretty black papers. This is green with a village. Very, very pretty papers. And I got this pad at Joann's last year on clearance after the holidays. So I got a really good bargain on this pad. Some of that peach color, some gingham there. And here I have the Recollection Specialty cardstock. So I've got some foil green, I have some foil golds, and then I've got that red and green plaid that I can use. And that has not been opened yet, but I'll even use some of those cardstocks as mats for some of my other papers. Here's another paper pad by DCWV called Frosted Peppermint. And I also got this at Joann's on clearance last year after the holidays. So you can see they focus on the reds, and you got some cut aparts, and you've got some poinsettias, you've got some stockings and some mittens. So a lot of pinks and reds here. Again, looks like they're basing it on that theme of the peppermint candy cane colors. Some more poinsettias, some snowflakes, pretty Christmas trees. More of that, village with some houses and some trees. Some pretty floral patterns. Nice large buffalo check. Pretty berries on some vines. You can see some of the foil there. More of the written word sentiment type pattern paper, more poinsettias, just super, super pretty, just absolutely gorgeous. And I love these colors. More snowflakes and some check or plaid, Santa Claus, vines, and some little floral patterns, more of the snowflakes, Christmas trees, more gingham, snowflakes, poinsettias, some stripes, more of that gingham and Christmas trees again. That foiled paper there on the right with the Christmas trees, that's absolutely gorgeous. And that might be some polka dots or maybe some more smaller snowflakes. And again, that's the frosted peppermint. And then this is the Classic Christmas Noel by Recollections. This was also a hot buy. I got this last year after the holidays, and I have not used this yet. So definitely some pretty patterns, some plaids, some stockings, some pretty floral patterns, some check, pretty snowflakes, and again there's some foil in there, candy canes, 6x6 size cut aparts, those are pretty, some Christmas present pattern paper, and then some words of joy, peace, Noel, very pretty. And then the larger size type design pattern paper, and these types of papers I will use to make gift bags out of, or if I don't use them for gift bags, I will definitely use it as a title page in my scrapbooks. Some more poinsettias with some pines and some pine cones, more of the poinsettias as a border with that stripe there in the center, and then more plaid or check cut aparts of different sizes with some sentiments, some pretty cardinals, and another bird on there with some pines, very, very pretty. We've got some ornaments, more cut aparts with some border strips. So plenty of ideas on how to use these up. Poinsettias, Christmas trees. I love this. I love this with the poinsettia and the Santa in the corner. Can make that into a slim line. Some plaid. And that takes care of the Classic Christmas Noel by Recollections. And then here I finally have the Silent Night by Recollections. And again, I got this last year, on clearance. And when these things are on clearance and you get these really good sales, it's just really hard to leave them in the store. And I know over time that I will use them. Some pretty snowflakes. Again, this is going to be your non-traditional pattern papers. You won't see the normal reds and the greens. You're going to see more of the pinks and the mint greens and the silvers and the golds. Just very pretty color combinations here. Some ornaments, snowflakes, more cut aparts, different sizes, which is what I like. There's that really pretty foil. I love that silver foil with the pines on there and then the pink little berries. So, so pretty. More snowflakes, more ornaments, and Christmas trees. And there's the full size, patterned paper of the 12 by 12. And again, I will use that as either a gift bag or a title page in my scrapbook. So more snowflakes, ice skates, and more cut aparts, 6x6 size. More ornaments, and a pretty Christmas tree ornament border on the bottom with the pink background. More snowflakes, and cut aparts for tags. More of those pretty pines, border strips, snowflakes. And that is the Silent Night by Recollections. Now that reminds me of this paper pad here, Sugar Plums. I used this in my Christmas in July video, and if you've missed that, I will link that in the description box below. But it's pretty much the same kind of idea as the Silent Night paper pad. It's your non-traditional colors. So you're going to have like some mint greens, some pretty light pinks, light blues, light purples. And I do have some scraps left from that paper pad. And I am hoping to dive into this and, use up some of these scraps that I have left over. But this is giving you an idea of what the papers look like in that pad. So you've got some stripes, some snowflakes, some pretty ornaments, some, fa la 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 la, and, just different patterns, some more snowflakes, some stars, and all different sizes. So I'm definitely going to be using a lot of sketches on here, using these scraps. I've got some of that glitter cardstock that I can use as well. So I do hope to go through this and tackle as much of it as I can, to make more Christmas cards. Now that takes care of the paper. So here are some of the tools that I'll be using. As I showed you earlier, I have this, house die that says Merry Christmas. And again, this was a big hit last year. I got a lot of compliments on that specific card. I put it on some glitter cardstock. It was super, super pretty. And here from Sizzix, I have the snowflakes, and I have used this with one of those gingham papers that I showed you early on, and you'll see that in a video. And just really happy to use, those dies. Here's a favorite one of mine. It is a die cut and an embossing folder all in one. And this is by Tim Holtz Sizzix. And again, you see the embossing part, and then it will die cut it out for you. So it does the two steps in one. And this is such a handy thing to have. I absolutely love mine, and I use it quite frequently when I'm making my holiday cards. I also have the poinsettia, and again, works the same way. It will die cut the poinsettia out, and it will also emboss it at the same time. And again, made by Tim Holtz and Sizzix. Now here is the, this is a collage die. I don't remember the specific name for it. I can link that in the description box below. It's by My Favorite Things. But I like this die for when it comes to using scraps. And I've made a couple of cards already using this die set. And you'll see that in an upcoming video as well. A lot of fun to use. And then I've got a couple of embossing folders here. One is this really cute ornament by Cuttlebug. And this is no longer available, unfortunately, but it's super, super cute. And then I have the Snowflakes 3D embossing folder. And super pretty. It really, I love the 3D embossing folders. It really does give it that three-dimensional look. And I used that quite a bit last year too on my Christmas cards. And then here is another snowflake embossing folder, and this is by Doris. And I got this at Joann's several years ago. I really don't know if this is even still available anymore. And I've used that on a couple of projects too that I will share. All right, friends, so this is all my supplies. Now, I didn't bring out my stamps. I really do have a lot of holiday stamps. I will share those, once I make my cards and I, place the sentiment either inside or on the front of the card. I will share that with you. And, just, again, the goal is for me to use everything that I have in my stash for the month of November. And I'm spending November just focusing on my Christmas cards and getting those done for my family and friends. And again, uh, when you look back at those papers, let me know what your favorite paper or paper pad is, and I will take a look at the comments, and I will see what your favorites are, and I will create cards using those paper pads. And, I hope that this video has inspired you to dive into your stash and use what you already have. And, I really hope to get, a lot of cards, from these pads. Now, these two pads I'm showing you, as I mentioned earlier, I do have cards that I already made using this Honeybee Gingham Galore Holiday paper pad, along with the Christmas watercolor 6x6 paper pad. And you'll be seeing those in a video very soon. Until my next video, friends, I hope your day is a crafty day. Until then, take care, everyone. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.